and ensure that the residents of West Cllr and Wirral receive an emergency response that is comparable with the rest of Merseyside. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much.
If I could just ask you to state your name and you have to 5 minutes to speak.
Thank you, Chair. My name is Daniel Stevens. I'm the Chief Fire Officer for Merseyside Financial Authority. As the Planning Committee will only be too well aware, the background to this application is that the option results in the least impact on response times for fire appliances to attend incidents such as property fires and road traffic collisions that pose a significant risk to life for people in West Wirral from any of the options available to the Fire and Rescue Authority. The authority accepts that there are no options available that do not adversely affect response times to life risk incidents. As a result of the ongoing cuts to its budget, the authority can no longer afford to crew the two existing stations, Elderton and West Cllr. Cuts that necessitated this option date back to 2015-16. Of the two stations, Elderton provides a more extensive response coverage due to the proximity of West Cllr to the coastline. It is for this reason that Elderton is designated a key station and therefore will be the station that remains open should the planning application for the new station not be approved. It is important to stress, however, that in no way can this be considered as a fallback option. It's essential to understand that the outright closure of West Cllr and subsequent response of Elderton does significantly increase the average response times to emergency incidents. Moving the station from Elderton to Saughall Massie Road would reduce response times to the West Cllr station area by an average of 2 minutes, bringing response times to that area much closer to the Merseyside average. Saughall Massie Road is located on the Elderton station area. The average response to the Elderton station area from Saughall Massie would increase by less than 1 minute compared to the response from Elderton. However, this would still be over 1 minute faster than the Merseyside average. In very simple terms, it's the equivalent of moving from extremely fast response times to fast response times. All of the available research identifies that there is a relationship between survivability and response times. Expressed simply, the faster the fire crew can arrive and intervene at the incident, the greater likelihood of survival. This can be measured in seconds rather than minutes. Survivability decreases significantly beyond 10 minutes. There are parts of the West Cllr station area that we cannot reach from Elderton within 10 minutes. The average response time to the West Cllr station area from Elderton is in excess of 8 minutes, which is 3 minutes longer than the Merseyside average and much closer to 10 minutes than almost everywhere else on Merseyside. These figures do not include call handling times, which would add on average an additional minute to the overall response. Whilst the authority adopted the 10-minute response standard back in 2013 as a direct result of cuts to the budget, in no way is the aspiration to take 10 minutes to attend a life risk incident. To the contrary, on Wirral and across Merseyside, the authority has pursued all available means to maintain average response times to life risk incidents as close to 5 minutes as possible. The reality is that whatever the outcome of the planning application, life risk incidents will continue to occur on the West Cllr station area, and some of which will invariably result in fatalities. All fatalities are subject to an inquest, which is presided over by a coroner. This will not be lost on the Planning Committee following the recent tragic incident at Grenfell. In determining the reasons for fatality...
Can I have order, please? Please, can I have order? Mr. Stephen speaking.
Thank you, Chair. In determining the reasons for a fatality, a coroner will only consider facts. What the coroner does not consider and will not tolerate is uninformed rhetoric, sensationalisation, or the advancement of factual inaccuracy. This was evidenced, Chair, during the inquest into the double fatality which occurred in the fire in West Kirby in March 2016. In some circumstances, for example, where the fatality is in the room of origin and is physically impaired and therefore unable to escape, the response times of the Fire and Rescue Service may have little material impact on the outcome. However, there will be, beyond any doubt, circumstances where the response times of the Fire and Rescue Service will absolutely have a direct impact on survivability. This is backed up by all of the available academic research as referenced within the planning application, but will be self-evident in any event.
Mr. Stevens, you have 30 seconds.
Thank you, Chair. Coroner has wide-ranging powers. One power is to make recommendations on preventable deaths. It is my view that the authority must do all it can to demonstrate that we've made every attempt to achieve the fastest response times achievable in the circumstances. It is a fact that the relocation of Upton to Saughall Massie Road will achieve that outcome. I call on the members of the Planning Committee to approve this application for that reason. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Stevens. Would the Board Council like to come forward to speak?
Thank you, Chair. If you give me a moment. Keeping up my own flag carrier.
If I could just ask you to state your name for our colleagues.
Yeah, Councillor Chris Blakely from Boult, Western Saughall Massie. I'm just going to start by making a comment about the Chief Fire Officer's presentation. And I do hope this planning committee won't be bullied by the threat of a coroner's court. Because he's made that threat tonight in here at the coroner's court. So I'm just hoping that none of you will be swayed by that. I'd also like to make a comment about the petitioner who spoke in support of, he said, 26,000 people. With the petition, 27 signatures, and 2 of them marked at the bottom as reserved. I find it incredible. Well, I'm going to speak on behalf of all those thousands of people who don't want this application. The 4,034 who signed the petition this time, the 200 odd who've written in letters of objection, the 3,500 who objected to the last one. You know, this is not wanted. I'm not going to start those words mainly on the planning consideration. These words are certainly not planning consideration, but I think they need to be said in context. When this committee rightly threw out the last application, clearly the fire authorities were not helpful. I went to a meeting with my 2 ward colleagues and Mr Spencer in January, and one Liverpool City Council who sits on there said that we were snobs, we didn't care about people's lives, only about our house prices. These are people who are representing us as well. The chair of the authority, this can only be evidenced by watching Grace TV, said, and I'll say what he said, the council acted despicably, and that every member who voted to refuse that application should hang their heads in shame. Clearly, the fire authority are used to getting their own way, used to bullying to get their own way, and that's what we're trying to do tonight. And that will not be allowed.
Chris, just before we move forward, can we just stick to facts, please, and not your own opinions?
I think the Chief Fire Officer I will stick to facts, thank you. I couldn't make the site visit to the meeting, but I had watched a couple of videos, and I know there was quite a number of people there, about 80 or 90. And you will have noted the strength of opposition by the management objectors, who came along to express their concerns, as they did in December, and as we have tonight. This is a major issue to these people, and they need to be treated properly. Excuse me. Chair members, I find it quite perverse and to a degree offensive that the application is for a community fire station, when the community has overwhelmingly rejected the proposal, as can be evidenced by others people who rejected this time 4,500, last time 3,500. They've made it very clear they don't want it in their community. And the application is also objected to by the Saughall Massie Village Area Conservation Society, the Wirral Society, Campaign for Rural England. All these people have objected. I also find it concerning that I discovered on Tuesday evening that there was supposed to be what was described to me as an independent individual who would sit on this committee and answer questions on behalf of the fire service on response times. That independent person, and remember the word independent, was the Chief Fire Officer of Cheshire Fire Service. How can that be independent when he belongs to the same association, when they work closely with Merseyside Fire and Rescue Service, particularly out of Peswell, where they go into Cheshire and Cheshire come into Wirral? This cannot be, and I'm delighted, Chair, absolutely delighted, that when I intervened with the Chief Executive, he threw this out.
They're not here.
They're not here. He threw this out, so making the point that they were going to be here, Chair.
They're not here.
But because I intervened, the Chief Executive threw it out as being biased and unfair.
I'm not sure that that's correct.
Well, you can take that
They're
up
not
with
here.
Mr. Robinson, because those are the words he told me. If you need an expert to answer questions on this application, on response times, if you need an expert, the expert's planning officer, Neil Williamson, where is he? He must have looked at this application. He must have interrogated the application. He must have spoken to the fire service. He must have all this response information time at his fingertips. If he hasn't, then how has he come to a recommendation? So you have an expert, you've chosen not to bring him here tonight to answer questions. I find that incredible as well. Moving on. While this new application is for a small plot, and we recognise you can only deal with what will be coming this evening, it is a matter of public record that the Chief Fire Officer is unhappy with the size of the plot. Something he stated in a meeting in May this year, when he said, I have serious reservations about this, and he went on to say, I have some quite serious reservations about the extent to which we are compromising the functionality